Hello, everyone. Today, we're diving into the world of business presentations.
Hi there. Yes, presentations are a crucial part of the business world, aren't they?
Absolutely, Jake. Knowing how to present effectively can really make a difference.
Today, we're going to go through some key elements of a successful presentation.
Let's start with the first important step, creating an outline. Jake, can you tell us why an outline is important?
Of course, an outline helps you to organize your thoughts and structure your presentation.
Right, it's like a roadmap for your audience. After the outline, what comes next?
Next, we should elaborate on each point in the outline to flesh it out.
Exactly. We need to provide details and examples. All right, are we ready to jump into a dialogue about presentations?
Let's do it. I can't wait to demonstrate some of these concepts.
Great. Let's start our first dialogue. I'll be the presenter, and you can be my audience, okay?
Sounds good, Emma. I'm ready to listen.
Hello everyone. Thank you for being here today. I am excited to discuss our new project.
What's the key takeaway from your presentation, Emma?
The key takeaway is that our project will improve efficiency by 20%. Let me elaborate on how we'll achieve this.
That sounds interesting. Can you summarize the main steps for us?
Absolutely. First, we'll analyze current processes. Second, we'll implement new software. Finally, we'll train our staff.
Sounds like a solid plan. During your presentation, will there be a Q&A at the end?
Yes. I think it's essential to allow time for questions so we can address any concerns.
That's a great idea. Engaging with the audience helps clarify any misunderstandings.
Exactly, Jake. Now, imagine if they do have questions. How do you think I should respond?
I think you should listen carefully, and then clarify if needed before answering.
Spot on. A good presenter always values the audience's input. All right, let's switch roles. Your turn.
Okay, I'll start. Hello everyone, thanks for joining us today to learn about our marketing strategy.
What's the outline for your presentation, Jake?
Well, I'll first outline the current market trends, then highlight our objectives, and finally discuss the budget.
That's a well-structured outline. Can you elaborate on the current market trends?
Certainly. We've noticed a shift towards online platforms which has influenced our strategy significantly.
Interesting. Will you summarize the objectives after that?
Yes, I'll summarize by stating our goals clearly. We aim to capture more online engagement by 30%.
Great. And how will you wrap up your presentation?
I plan to conclude with our budget and invite questions from the audience.
That sounds like a solid conclusion, Jake. Let's review some structures we've just used.
Sure. What should we focus on first?
Let's look at how we summarize information. For example, you might say, in summary, our project will enhance productivity.
That's clear. It gives the audience a concise review.
Exactly. Another example could be, to summarize, the main goals are efficiency and satisfaction.
It flows nicely into the next point. How about elaborating?
Certainly. For instance, you could say, let me elaborate on our marketing channels, such as social media and email.
This is useful. I should remember to highlight key points.
Yes. Finally, we need to remember the Q&A. For example, you might ask, are there any questions or clarifications needed?
I see how these phrases tie everything together during a presentation.
Exactly. Now let's do a vocabulary review of what we've discussed.
Sure, I'm ready.
Firstly, let's talk about outline. For instance, the presentation outline helps us stay on track.
I've heard that one before. Oh, can I give another example? Please send me the outline for our meeting.
Perfect. Another way to use it is, an outline makes complex topics easier to understand.
Great examples. Now what about elaborate?
You can say, could you elaborate on your main arguments? This shows you want more details.
Or I could say, I need to elaborate further on this issue. This emphasizes importance.
Exactly. Lastly, I'd like to elaborate on our budget plan briefly. Makes it clear which topic you're discussing.
Okay, now let's review, summarize.
An example would be, let me summarize the key points for you. It's a great transition phrase.
Or I might say, to summarize, our findings support our strategy.
Exactly. You could also say, in summary, we've achieved our goals this quarter.
Nice. What's next? Key takeaway.
Correct. For example, the key takeaway is that teamwork enhances productivity.
Or, your key takeaway should be clear and memorable.
Well said. Another one is, the key takeaway from this discussion is to focus on client feedback.
And lastly, how about Q&A?
You might say, we'll have a Q&A session at the end of the presentation.
And also, it's important to prepare for the Q&A part.
Exactly. Another example would be, let's open the floor for a Q&A now.
These phrases are so helpful for a successful presentation.
They really are. Now, let's move on to a quick review before we wrap it up.
What do you have for us, Emma?
First question. Why is an outline important in a presentation?
It helps organize thoughts and structure the talk, right?
Exactly. Next question. What does it mean to elaborate?
It means to give more details or explain something further.
Well done. Can you give me an example of summarizing?
Sure. You can say, in summary, we've covered all the key aspects today.
Perfect. Now, what's a key takeaway from a presentation?
It's the main point or lesson the audience should remember.
Yes, exactly. Last question. Why is a Q&A session vital?
It allows the audience to ask questions, clarifying any doubts.
Great work, Jake. You've really understood the material. Let's wrap things up.
This was a fantastic session, Emma. I feel more confident about presentations now.
I'm glad to hear that. Next time, we'll explore negotiation skills in business.
I can't wait. Thanks, Emma. See you next time.